And we have a big panel for you tonight. So we're going to start with our co-host, and we'll start tonight with you, Julie. How you doing, Julie?
I am doing great. How are you? Good to see this wonderful panel on tonight. I am Julie Logan, owner and operator of Popcorn Heaven, Still Creek.
And Dion?
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to see you again. Thank you to this wonderful panel that joined us, all these great Black men. We're going to be blessed tonight.
And Jeff?
What's up, everybody? It's Jeff White with the Yes We Did Virtual Learning Center, and it's an honor to be on this panel tonight with all these educated Black men who are going to show out today.
So we'll start with our first guest, Martin. I'll start with you. Introduce yourself to the...
Hello, my name is Martin Tisdale, and I'm the owner of Infinity Designs.
And Kamani?
Name is Kimani Varner. I'm Chanel's husband. I like to say that first, put the queen out there. But the COO of Moonglade Travel, my wife, fearlessly leads. She's been amazing.
Thank you. Jordan?
Hello, everybody. Jordan here, formerly Jordan T. Robinson. I am the founder of a graphic design service called JTR Presents, and I am the business development manager at our Triad.
And we have another guest too, Joshua. So when he comes back on video, we'll get him started. So first, before we get started, I like to announce, I always have a month or some type of awareness month. So that's kind of something we stick to. So this time I like to acknowledge that June is National Soul Food Month. And I chose that one because here in Charlotte, for all of those that are here in Charlotte, there was a Charlotte staple of soul food called
Price's Chicken Coop.
Price's Chicken Coop. Brain dead went just like that, Julie. Price's Chicken Coop, right? And they closed their doors yesterday, which Saturday, which was significant with Juneteenth. And they've been in Charlotte for 59 years. And so when I saw that pop on the list, I wanted to say that because one, that line was too long and I didn't get my last bit of chicken and the potato salad. So I just wanted to see if other people knew that we lost that particular business and that they said it was, kind of the pandemic. So I wanted to share that with you. One of our topics tonight is going to be about what can a brother do for me? And so what we wanted to discuss, and Josh was there, so I'm gonna give Josh a chance to go ahead and do his intro first before we get to it, since he got his video up.
Hey, how y'all doing? Joshua Proby, author, speaker, life and business coach, minister. I'm just grateful to be a part of this conversation.
And thank you all for being here. So the subject is going to be, what can a brother do for me? What does it mean to you? And how should it be defined? So we're going to start with you, Dion.
Good afternoon again to our online audience. And I want to let them know you're going to have a treat today when you hear from all of these very intelligent people on this panel. And it's very special to me because it's Black men. And it's very uplifting and it's strong for us to do this and do it together. This title is so near and dear right now because of shared with the panel. There are some personal things I've been suffering through and getting through, I'll say, going through and getting through and growing through too. I would like to add that, but as of recent, I have I had a brother of mine, my youngest brother, was murdered. And it was very introspective. He was murdered by two 15-year-old young black men who had already been doing way too much. They were not absolutely disconnected from my brother. My brother dated one of their mothers. And a lot of what he did with them, we would call it probably tough love. And that is like hard for a different generation to accept. They are very virtual in many ways in their socialization, the way they handle their things and stuff like that. They're very virtual. They're not connected to reality. So this title, it just touched the deepest parts of my heart. After this with my brother, I was cleaning house and I had all my Black Lives Matters t-shirts. And I thought about the truth of the matter is I live here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. There are 7 area codes in Winston-Salem. The 27105 area code has a life expectancy that's 15 years shorter than every other zip code in Winston-Salem. It's the same. My brother didn't live in the 27105 zip code, but he was over there in the 27105 zip code. What can a brother do for me? As I got all my Black Lives Matter t-shirts together, it dawned on me again that some of these atrocities that we are able to formally protest and march for, things of that nature, we don't have an internal affairs division of Black Lives Matter. We don't, in the hood, it's called snitching. If you share what someone done that was a crime, we've got all these codes and these unspoken things that we do. One of the things that brothers can do for me is they can check their esteem. I think a lot of our esteem issues is what manifests. It produces and it aids and it agitates those insecurities that everyone has. It works up those things that are innate in people, emotions and even anger and things of that nature. But I think a lot of it is it's an esteem issue. Because if a brother don't care for himself, he cannot care for me.
Exactly.
If he does not take his own life worth and appreciate his own value, then mine already is discounted. It's already a lack and a deficiency in his eyes. The esteem of Black men, our younger brothers, the esteem is not in the appropriate balance. We're more angry than we are caring. We're more violent than we are giving. You know, we're more confrontational than diplomatic and able to resolve and able to sit down and discuss things of that nature. I got a great quote right here. One of my favorite artists has always been Tupac Shakur because of his realness. He said, you know, he missed the rah-rah outside of prison. He said, you know, and he'll do this, that, and the third. But once he got into prison, he said it was real killers in there. And it was real crime, real violent people in there. He said, and it taught me how to be diplomatic. And it's a lot about our esteem that I witnessed firsthand with my brother. I saw the video of when they took his life, and I saw the young men, and I saw the response from other Black men. And it was a variation of those that were my brother's friend and those that were connected to these other young men.
Yeah.
And it broke that part broke my heart too.
And that's kind of like the difficult part for a lot of people to see.
Yes.
To get through that part. And Joshua, I think you have a keen perspective in that.
Yeah.
I saw you nodding a couple of times, and I think there were quite a few things that you could resonate with. What's your take on what Dion said?
Definitely can relate to the to the Tupac situation. Of course, you know, I did 12 years, and it's a totally different ball game when you're out in the streets and you talk in this life. But then when you get in there with people who got life for real, it's a different story. But you know, to go to the reaction that he said that they had when it came down to those who were his brother's friends, as well as those who were opposing. When you see that, it is hard. It's disheartening. I saw that firsthand when I was in prison. At the same time, I can see brothers who eat together, eat soups together, and chill together, and talk together, and build together. And then instantly there's something that switches. And the moment that it switches, the same brother who was eating the soup with you is now stabbing you. So it's a painful thing to see the disconnect between the men and how something such as a gun, such as a position, such as a knife, such as anything of that can change the relationship. You know what I mean? So I definitely can understand exactly where he's coming from as far as the disheartening feeling to see just such a quick discord, just to see such a quick divide with our men. You know what I'm saying? With their kids, you know what I'm saying? And as he said, what a brother can do is check his esteem. What a brother can do for me is to know who he is so that we can know who we are. I think that's one of the biggest things that a brother can do for me. I don't want to hear about your accolades. I don't want to hear about what college you went to. I don't want to hear about how educated you are. I don't want to hear about how you had 3 kids and your grandfather raised you. And I don't want to hear none of that. And it's not that to discount those facts. It has nothing to do with the factual aspect of everything that you said. It has everything to do with how do you meet me where I'm at so that I can then take what you said and allow it to mean something to me.
Yes.
So sometimes men introduce us as Black men. We come from nothing. We come from the bottom. I came from nothing. So you want to let people know that first. And what we fail to realize is that not even in this generation, but your own children, they see your mishaps. They don't see the PhD, the you on the show, and they see when you broke down, they see when you yelling, they see when you tripping, they see all of that. And because they see that, they can have more appreciation if you present you more than what accompanies you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's one of the biggest things as far as this generation. And that's why, it has absolutely nothing to do with what I've accomplished or what I've achieved or anything. When I meet the people in my community, I wear what I wear, I look how I look, and I'm gonna meet you where you at. And then I can have that same politician conversation. I can have that same lawyer conversation, that judge conversation. And then you'd be like, because I need my generation, I need my children, I need my Black brothers to know that, it can look like that. So what a brother can do for me is introduce who you are first, your flaws and everything. And I use this, and I'll close with this. I used this with my wife when I first met her. I said, I ain't nothing and you ain't nothing. So what's up? And I think that throws out all of the, I went to school for, and because we're all trying to win the Academy Award for Best Actress and Best Actor when you first meet somebody. I'm giving you all of the goods up front, right? When I know there was a point in your life when you wasn't nothing. And I know there was a point in my life when I wasn't nothing. And that's okay. So let's start right there and build to how we got to what we present. Because now when I show you that, then you know where to help me. You know where to help me, to build me, to grow me as that man. And I think as men, I got to know who you are first. I got to know what's up. And if I know what's up, then when you struggling, I could be there for you, bro. But if all I know is PhD and I went to this and I did this and did that, how can I help you? Even when you cry for help, how can I help you?
I second that, Joshua. To me, my working with marketing or like with branding and things of that nature, and just being in this society, we are in a capitalist society. And I feel like there's like this ongoing pressure with the question, why do I want to spend any bit of time with you? And there's always a feeling of competition. And that's just one of many lenses to perceive this. And the way I interpret it, it's like, we're in a culture where we're pressured to always be at our best or to be better than our counterparts from the very get-go, especially as Black people. You know, I still hear the voices echo in my mind from my elders when they say, hey, it's great that you're in a progressive space or you're working with all these advocates when you talk about social justice and civil rights. Just remember, you're still a Black face in a white space. And that had put an added pressure onto me, you know, and an added pressure and also a level of distrust in my other counterparts that made it very hard for me to really trust and accept allyship, or when people who really do have resources to help you are willing to do so. Like, I really needed to see all of you. Like, I don't need to see the pristine and the shine and the flawless teeth. I need to see the cracks, the scars. I need to see the wounds. And I think and so going back to like, what can a brother do for me? And I think about this idea of a community of genuine relationships. You know, as business people, as entrepreneurs, and just as people, there's so many different problems. And I think it's important for us to have a clear understanding of who to go to for what. Like, who are the people I go to if I need a shoulder to cry on, or if I need someone to answer questions, or if I need someone to help change my perspective of something because I have a feeling that I might be off. So, or even just that level of insecurity that makes me think I'm off. Like, just people that help me keep a grounded headspace and to get as clear of a perspective as I can. I think there's a level like that all requires you to be genuine, have those genuine, authentic relationships, and to just, I'm realizing more and more about how transparency is the best policy. Like,
Yeah.
look, I want to do this, this, and this. I'm aware it costs something, but I have no idea what do you know about?
Exactly.
Or, hey, I feel this, and this. I feel offended and harmed about what an organization did for their programming that was supposed to be acknowledging a story of our community, but actually just kind of spat in its face. This is how I see and interpret it. And I need to talk I need to talk about it.
Yeah, having somebody kind of meet you where you're at is really kind of the go around of what you're saying. Is you want somebody to meet you where you're at, kind of resonate with what it is that you're trying to get across to them. Martin, your thoughts on that?
Thank you for being a part of this panel. I'm humbled. I'm humbled just by the preliminary conversation. But all in all, what can a brother do for me? It's real simple. Just be human. Just be human. Like everybody else has said, you know, we don't care about, I mean, you know, you acknowledge the degrees and the places but what about the trials and the tribulation? What about the process? Yeah, everybody's always concerned or interested in the result, not the process. And being transparent with a lot of these brothers is what's really gonna get through. As I was talking to Dion, as I was listening to Dion, it reminded me of what I asked one of my brothers this weekend, you know, and we were talking. And I said, when is the last time that you saw a brother that was struggling emotionally and you just walked up and just gave him a hug? Sometimes we're as Black men, we're so afraid of showing our emotions, like even emotions as far as physical touch, man. You know, you give sometimes a brother lay his head on your shoulder and, you know, and we don't get that a lot. We don't get it. So, you know, just what can a brother do for me? Just be human. Tell me about everything, not about the parts that you want me to hear, not about, because we can all identify with the process. We all start at the same gate.
Can I add?
It's levels, you know, and you know, like with the whole lot of it, if we can go through it together, and if we can also agree to disagree and talk without the violence, talk Talk is a small word, but it speaks volume.
Yeah.
We got to learn to talk it out and learn to respect each other's opinion. It's okay if both of us are right. We can be right. One doesn't have to be right and someone's wrong. We can both be right and walk away from the conversation and say, hey, I learned something today.
Kamani.
Man, I completely agree with that, Martin. Like, I mean, completely agree. I feel that, you know, in our culture, or at least where I'm from, so, you know, it's seen as, you know, it's very competitive. Like everything is a competition, especially amongst Black men. It's like, I'm afraid to show you who I am because, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm competing with you, you know, and I feel like if I give this to you, you're going to use this and step over me and throw me out to the dirt. And, you know, in an instance that has happened to me before, you know, it has happened to me where, you know, me and this guy at this organization, he's sharing, I'm sharing, we both agree to like help each other, and he turns and uses that to his advantage. I mean, that type of stuff will happen, you know, but we have to be, we have to, for one, put down the fences. I would say, like, what a brother can do for me is just, hey, we all are born with this fence, with this buildup, but we have to learn to like put it down, to at least sit at the table, to have a conversation. You know, we're always taught to compete with each other, and I feel like that is, you know, that is a huge part of the problem of us listening to each other, learning from each other, helping each other grow. I feel like if we can just put down the guard and just see, hey, this is what I can do, and I can show what I can do and what you can bring to the table. It's possible for us all to be great. It really is. Like, it's possible for us all to thrive. It's possible for communities to thrive. And just like Jordan said, I'm a huge believer in community. I work at a foundation now. Like, I'm a huge believer in it, but we have to be willing to put our guards down. Like when Dion was talking, I'm thinking like, man, like that's 3 brothers lost. I mean, that's 3. It's like 3 of them. And I'm just sitting here like, this is just, it's so sad, you know, and it could be something that, you know, if there was a conversation about, hey, this is how you handle confrontation, or this is how you talk things out, or this is what that looks like, none of that happens, you know, and I think we're so, after the fact, we're trying to like fix problems. Like sometimes we need to be proactive, and we need to learn how to let our guards down and just talk to each other. So I would say what a brother could do for me is, for one, we need that support, honesty, accountability, but we also need to like let our guards down some. It's okay to be vulnerable sometimes so we can share with each other, so we can grow together. I feel like that's very important.
Okay, Jeff, I know you got a good perspective on this as well.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Before the show, when Dion talked about what's going on with him, it just took the wind out of my sail. Be honest with you, it made me really sad. Then it made me really angry, and at the same time, it made me reflective. I don't know about you guys, but I love old classic Black movies, and I'm just gonna talk about 2 real quick. The first one is Cooley High. I don't know if you guys saw Cooley High. I'm from Chicago, so I can relate to that movie. And that movie really hurts because I see people talk about rap music is destroying our community, and it is playing a part. But if you saw that movie, you saw them gang banging to Smokey Robinson, Martha Reed, and the Vandellas, and it was Black on Black crime. We're going through the exact same thing that they went through in the 1960s and 70s. It's so frustrating. And like you guys, you know, we got to have each other's back, but we don't have each other's back, you know. And just like you said, one minute you can be eating together, next minute your boy is stabbing you, not in your back, in your chest, looking you in your eyes. It's very frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. And then there's the anger that we deal with, because we wanna, it's not, a lot of us want to help each other like we do on this panel, but there's a lot of mistrust. You don't know who to trust. So you got to keep that guard up, because you can't get hurt. I'm not gonna get got, you know. Y'all could be cool, but I don't know you, so I'm gonna keep my guard up, you know. And then I was thinking about the movie Car Wash. I don't know if you guys saw that one, another one of our favorite movies. And Abdullah,
Oh,
I saw that movie about a month and a half ago, and I kid you not, it brought tears to my eyes at the end, because he was like, I'm tired. I'm tired. And I'm like, damn, I'm tired too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired. So we've been dealing with this for decades. And then you want to help the young brothers, they're not even listening. So it's like, what do we do? How do we get out of this? And then I'm gonna go one more movie, because I love that old stuff. Claudine. I don't know if you guys saw Claudine.
oh, wow, I haven't seen that.
But
one.
I love that movie, and that soundtrack, Happy Home, with you know, with Gladys Knight. I love that song. But the theme of that movie that really, really ticked me off was the fact that the man couldn't be in the house. If he was in the house, then he couldn't live there, because she was on, you know, that public assistance, and he couldn't provide or do anything for her. So it separated the Black family, and the Black man could not help his family. It wasn't his family, but generally speaking, and that was the thing back then. They purposely kept us apart. And so we've been dealing with this for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, well before a lot of us were even born, and we're going through the same things. It pisses me off. And then, like I said, here with Dion going through, and he's hurting. And then he has to keep that brave face on, because that's how society has made us as Black men. We can't show feeling, because if you show feeling, that's a sign of weakness. And so it's just like, where do we even begin? Because this is bigger than us on this panel. This is before we even born. And then you got the young guys who not even listening. So I'm from Chicago, and I grew up when the gangs were really, really bad. But they listened to the OGs. They listened to the older cats. But I'll say about 20, 25 years ago, it's flipped. And they don't listen to nobody. So how in the hell are we supposed to help each other and work with each other? I usually like to come on and you know, give solutions, but I'm at a loss, man. I'm really at a loss. And to hear Dion say his friends were just how they reacted, I don't know where to begin. All we can do is try to work together like we doing on this panel and show that unity. But it's an uphill battle, because the world is against us. And then and we want to talk about relationships, how society has a Black men and Black women pitted against each other. And I think it's all about design. I really do. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm a realist. They don't want to see us together, because if they see us together, then they know we unstoppable. And so I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We gotta keep working together. We gotta keep having talks like this. We have a wide variety of people on this panel. We've all had different backgrounds, but we all trying to come together as one.
Right.
And if we can come together as one, they can't stop us. But we gotta keep trying, because it's a mess. We are at war. We're at war with society. We're at war with each other. We're at war with our women. We're at war with the younger generation. We're at war with the older generation. How do we fight this? You know, I'm serious. I'm just, like I say, talking to Dion today, man, just hearing your story today just really kind of put me in a different place. And I'm just sitting here like, I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss, man.
I know it's very rarely that I look up and Jeff is going back and shaking his head and stuff, but I'm not used to seeing him that way. But it was very interesting that you brought up Car Wash, Jeff, because the guy that played Car Wash, I think maybe a couple months ago, he was on Clubhouse. Everybody know what Clubhouse is, right?
That's Bill Duke, right? That is his name, Bill Duke?
Uh-huh.
Bill Duke? Yeah.
Someone there that was, and they was asking him which role did he play that resonated the most to him, and he said that role in Car Wash. He said because Abdullah was him at that time, that he was this dark-skinned Black man and he didn't know where he fit in. And he felt like that was him. That was the role for him. He said it was the hardest, but the best role that he found himself in because of that, for everything that each and every one of you have said thus far. You know, and so that was interesting that you brought that up. It's just like it came back. He said that was like, because he resonated with it.
I don't think he was.
To your point, Jeff.
Real quick. I don't think he was acting when he at the end when he thought that guy was crying.
He said
that wasn't acting.
It wasn't. He said
That looked real.
That was real.
And then I felt it.
He said it was. He said that was that. He said that was all him. There wasn't anything anybody asked him to direct. That was just him in that role. I thought it was very. I think Dion. In fact, I think I pinged you and told you that he was on talking about it that night. Definitely did. Julie, you were getting ready to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know, Jeff, you was asking a question about, you know, what do you do? I mean, how do you even begin? It starts with platforms like this, as we all know. You know, there's national platforms where you have all the celebrities and all that kind of stuff talking about situations and issues as this. And what about everyday people? I consider myself an everyday person. So you got to create this platform, which this is by Dion, this platform to be able to put it out in the atmosphere to talk about it. And I think it's phenomenal that these men are coming together to talk about what's on your heart, pulling on your heartstrings, what makes you angry. But then how do we then take that conversation and change it and bring in the younger generation so that they will listen, so that they will, you know, tap into what you're saying. I think that's the direction it's trying to go to. It's a challenge. I'll give an example. Even with the location where I am, we've seen 3 teenagers, 15 and one is 17, that has come by this store, and they are quote unquote harassing people who coming out of the store and asking if they want to buy a certain product. We already know what that is. It ain't popcorn. It's something else. So, you know, to try to get somebody to pour into those young men to say, hey, there's better. There's something better out there for you than having to walk up and down this sidewalk asking folks do they want X, Y, Z. Somebody's got to stop. Somebody's got to stop them and have that conversation, that brave conversation. And I think it starts with this platform with what you all are on right now.
Jordan?